Okay, hi, it's Monday morning. Just wanted to do a quick video here, mainly about the literature review assignments, since I corrected them this morning and I've given them all back to you. And there were some general themes that came through in those assignments that I wanted to just address quickly. And then also, yes, this week's Week 5 Human Resources Frame and Case Study, Woolman and Deal and the American Heart Association or Cancer Association. I think it's the Heart Association. Okay? All right, first, off topic. Last week I was talking about how nice and warm it was here in the Northeast and how wonderful climate change was. Well, as you may see on the news, national news, that parts of New England and upstate New York are getting hit with a big snowstorm today that came out of the blue. Since I was golfing on Saturday, it was beautiful out, just in a little polo shirt, and now it's freezing and terrible. Okay, so, and the other thing related to climate control is, remember Victoria Falls, the highest falls in the world, I think? And I also think have something to do with the beginning of the Nile. A friend of ours just came back from Africa and they trekked to Victoria Falls, and there was not a drop of water to be had. Not a drop of water to be had. To be had, she said. No falls. Anyway. All right. On to your literature review assignments. Okay, so just a couple of things. One, there is no I in research. So forget about all your I's and me and all that sort of stuff. You have to start writing in the formal style that is standard for research papers. Okay, so no I anywhere. All right. The second thing that maybe I haven't made this clear or is not clear in any of the other material, what you're basically doing here is building a literature review, right? You know that. But what you may not know is that it drops right into your capstone paper. And so what we're actually doing here is writing a segment of your capstone paper, and this segment should be no less than 10 pages ultimately. So you'll have at least 10 sources that you'll be reviewing in your literature review, and you'll be taking 10 pages to do it. So when you think about that, then I should be taking about 1 page per article in terms of presenting what's in the article, and then weaving it into the different themes of the other articles, right? So think about that in terms of the length and the time you spend on each article, and how much content and reporting of the article you include in your literature review. Okay? And then that brings me then to the third point, that in terms of the structure here of these papers, you should really start with a brief restatement of your research question, because the whole point of literature review is to find articles, talk about them, and then relate what those articles say to answering your research question. So creates a context at the beginning in terms of purpose, really, and your touchstone. Maybe that didn't come out right, but start at the beginning with your research question, because it creates a context for what follows, and it also creates a touchstone that you can refer back to as you are thinking about how the materials of the various articles actually relate to your ability to actually answer your question. Okay? So, 1, research question. And then 2, you do have to report content on each of the articles. So don't just generally say, the article was about this and this and this, and it gave 5 best practices for fundraising, just for example. Okay? If you don't say what those 5 best practices are, you really didn't tell the reader anything. So just don't talk about the article, state the content of the article. Okay? That not only helps the reader and provides your paper with more heft, content, information, it also helps to extend the amount of space you're using talking about each of the articles. Remember what I said earlier about you have 10 pages to cover 10 articles, so in some cases you'll have to expand your writing on each article, and a good way, easy way to do that is to include more content from the article. Okay? And then the third thing you want to do is compare and contrast the articles, right? This is where the sort of the synthesis comes in, and you can do this synthesis and this comparing and contrasting with groups of articles, right, that have similar themes or diametrically opposing themes, right? Or you can just kind of, do that a little later in your literature review or in the individual assignments that we're doing. And then lastly, what you want to do, the fourth part, is to make some sort of judgment statement about how the articles and the content of them help inform you to answer your question. Okay? Some cases it'll be helpful, some cases it won't. If you have 10 articles that don't, then you want to discard those 10 and get 10 new ones. But hopefully you're somewhat on track, and so you have 1 or 2 that don't really relate, well then that's okay. But make sure you have an overwhelming majority of them actually relevant to your topic. Okay? Okay, I think that's about it. Oh, when you report the content of the articles in kind of like that second part, the second item that I listed here of the 4, please name the name, give the title and the name of the author. Okay? All right. Okay. I guess that's all for the literature review piece. Okay, and now just a little bit about this week's frame. I touched on it in the video I did last Thursday, but the point of the human resources frame is pretty simple. We're not all robots. None of us are robots. We all have feelings, we all have aspirations, we all have a need to feel good about what it is that we do in our jobs. And, for some people that need may be more or it may be less, but it's always there. And so it's really important that as a manager you appreciate this and that you take that into account when trying to figure out who should do what job and how. The best leaders will somehow figure out how to align within a job description, roles and responsibilities, will somehow have the goals and interests of the individual employee aligned with the goals and interests of the organization. And when those two different sets of goals and interest are diametrically opposed, well then it's never going to work. And when they're aligned, oh baby, then we're all going in the same direction, and that's really what you're looking for. The case study this week about the American, I'm pretty sure it was the Heart Association, you'll read about how a new top guy, I guess he was the executive director, came in and he reorganized everything to make the structure of the organization that was below him more efficient. What he failed to do, though, was to figure out the alignment of the human resources frame with the structural frame. In other words, he forgot to align the interest, needs, goals of his employees with the new structure and the new roles and responsibilities that he was trying to fit the people into. And you'll see that there was one level of management in particular where that match of their previous roles, responsibilities, and their sort of like personal goals and responsibilities no longer fit with the new structure and the roles and responsibilities within that new structure. Hence, almost all of them left, and they were key people in his organization. So it's just an illustration of how you have to not just think about the structure of your organization, but an alignment of those roles and responsibilities with the goals and interest of those who are going to fill the positions that you've created. Okay? I guess that's all for now. Also, I probably won't talk to you again until after Thanksgiving, so have a great holiday. If your assignments don't get in until next Sunday, don't worry about it, because come Thursday, I'm not doing anything. I'll get back to stuff next Monday. So if you're also finding that getting all the work done before you go on holiday doesn't work, you can do it anytime over the weekend or after the holiday, okay? But just trying to get it all done. Have a happy holiday, and I'll hopefully see you online and talk with you next week through a video, okay? Call as well. I got a call over the weekend. I didn't have my phone on, so I didn't get to it soon enough, but please call anytime. I'll try to have the ringer on, okay? All right, thanks.